What up, y'all? This is Tracy from Nerd Squish, and today we're going to be talking about Hazbin Hotel because it's a happy day in hell. I apologize for that musical number, and I apologize further because it may not be the last one in this video, because that's what this show has been doing to me for the past couple of weeks. On October 28th, 2019, a little indie animation project dropped on YouTube titled Hazbin Hotel. The pilot, made entirely by freelance animators, quickly amassed a large fan base. A year after the pilot released, A24 picked up Hazbin Hotel for the production of a TV series, and the series premiered on Amazon Prime January 18th, 2024. So I recently watched all the episodes, and I'm obsessed. And the funny thing is, when I first watched it, I wasn't exactly blown away. However, like a good bottle of whiskey, I let it sit a little while. And over time, I realized that I just kept going back to the bottle, and now I've been listening to the soundtrack on repeat. So today, I want to break down and review Hazbin Hotel. But before we get into the details, if you're a returning viewer, hey, how you doing? And if you're new here, this is Nerd Squish, where we take everything spooky and we take everything nerdy and we squish it all together. So if you like horror movies, musicals, and pop culture, definitely hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos from us in the future. So first and foremost, what is Hazbin Hotel? It has amassed a large fan base in a very small amount of time since the official series has premiered on Amazon, and it is just, it's taking the world by storm. And by the world, I mean my TikTok For You page. Hazbin Hotel is an adult animated musical comedy series that follows Charlie Morningstar, the daughter of Lucifer and the princess of hell. She opens up a hotel as a place for sinners to be rehabilitated so they can be allowed into heaven. She wants to save the citizens of hell from heaven's annual extermination due to hell's overpopulation. So why exactly did this silly little show cause me to put on musical numbers while I'm just hanging around at the house? This show has layers. It's not just another raunchy animated adult series. It's covering serious issues, religious topics, and it has heartfelt moments that will seriously make you cry. Overall, there's a lot of reasons to like Hazbin Hotel, but I think for me, it comes down to 3 reasons. The first reason being the adult humor. I absolutely love adult animation. Some of my favorite shows in the genre are Rick and Morty, Clone High, Harley Quinn, and Solar Opposites. There's just something about raunchy jokes being told through animation that is just so fun to me. Specifically my generation, I feel like whether it was Disney or Nickelodeon, we were all raised on cartoons. So to take that nostalgic style and dump late night comedy over it, it's just fantastic. The second reason that this show really sticks out to me is, of course, its characters. The characters are so funny and lovable, it's honestly hard to pick a favorite. And if a show doesn't have characters that are competing for that top spot, is it even good? So I'm just gonna talk about a few of my favorites. First, we're gonna talk about Charlie. As I mentioned before, she's the princess of hell, and she's the daughter of Lucifer and Lilith. She's our main character, and she definitely has main character energy. It's really hard not to love this upbeat and optimistic character. She's determined and energetic. Honestly, this character makes you want to be a better person. She makes you want to chase after your dreams, and for that, I instantly fell in love with this character, and y'all stay tuned, because you know I have the urge to cosplay this character in the future. Next up, we're going to talk about Alistair, who's one of the powerful overlords of hell, also known as the Radio Demon. He offers to help Charlie with the hotel, and he claims it's out of boredom and he would be entertained by the sights in this hotel. But you just know that he's up to something. He's conniving and charismatic, and he has this amazing filter over his voice that sounds like a radio static, which is a reflection of who he was when he was alive, a radio host. He's dry and quite creepy, but He's quick with comebacks and often hilarious. He also is somewhat of a father figure to Charlie, which doesn't make the next character on my list very happy. That's right, the next character we're talking about is none other than Lucifer. The estranged father of Charlie Morningstar, based off of the biblical Lucifer, is probably my favorite character. He's not the typical type of Lucifer that you would see portrayed in pop culture. Instead of being this evil overlord, he's just this goofy little man trying to be there for his daughter. Now, don't get me wrong, he's still all-powerful, and you do see that evil demeanor from time to time.
You taking care of my widow girl? You better be.
But I am fully in love with this character. And I think a big reason for that is the voice behind this character. Jeremy Jordan of Broadway fame lends a heartfelt and hilarious performance of this character.
My daughter wants to see me. Take that, depression.
The next character on my list is Angel Dust, who is absolutely wild. He's a flamboyant porn star and the hotel's first resident. He's in an abusive situation with his boss, and the show does not hide from the trauma. It showcases this controlling relationship, and it touches on some very dark topics. He seems very resistant to Charlie's plan to save the citizens of hell, but over time you see him soften both by her and her mission. The next character on my list is Nifty, and she is a Cyclops demon who serves as the maid of the hotel, and this character is absolutely bonkers, and I'm living for it. She's hyperactive and loves bad boys. Like, seriously, when she sees Lucifer, she's like, the ultimate bad boy. And then when she sees he's just this goofy, lovable guy, she's like, oh, well, I guess not. Every single time this character is on screen, I am cracking up. And this is another one that I'm very tempted to cosplay. Next up, we have Husk, who is the bartender at Hazbin Hotel. And he's a grumpy turd, and I absolutely love him. He loves drinking, parlor tricks, and gambling, and can come off as a standoffish and sarcastic character. But he's actually very observant and a surprisingly sympathetic character. Now, what really makes him come to life is the voice behind the character, which is of course Keith David. Now, this man has such an iconic voice, he was born to be a voice actor. After all, he is the voice behind one of my favorite Disney villains of all time, Dr. Facilier. And the last character on my list is Serpentious. He is this serpent-like demon with steampunk weapons, and he starts off as an antagonist, but over the course of the show, his character really evolves. He's originally hired to spy on Alistair, but then becomes an official patron of the Hazbin Hotel. Between the voice provided by Alex Brightman of Beetlejuice fame and just the awkwardness of the character, I have to love him. Now, the show is littered with fun and interesting characters, but these were just some of the standouts in my opinion. And the third reason that this show stands out is the music. Now, I love a good musical. After all, I am a theater kid. And maybe it's the fact that I grew up during the Disney Renaissance that an animated musical is just my jam. And the music on this show is perfection. It also helps that there's some serious Broadway voices behind these characters. And all the songs are great, but here are just some of the standout musical numbers in my opinion. We're gonna start off with the very first song that you hear in the show, A Happy Day in Hell, because what better way to introduce this series? It's upbeat and optimistic, just like the character of Charlie that's singing it. It introduces us to the depiction of hell in this show, as well as our main character's energetic and optimistic personality. And as a result of this song, every time I'm about to do something that I don't feel like doing, I have to bust out into
something tells me that today will be a happy day in hell.
And then I go do the thing that I don't feel like doing. The next song on my list dives into the background and the story of Angel, and that is of course the song Poison. This song is pretty tragic and sad as it shows how Angel wants to escape the abusive relationship with his boss. And this song is one that has quickly taken over social media and TikTok, I think because it's super relatable. Anyone that has ever tried to escape from any kind of toxic environment can definitely relate to this song. It's a perfect example of how this show is not just a raunchy musical comedy. It's really so much more than that. And the song is a bop. It's so catchy, it's so good, I love it. And the next song on my list is Hell's Greatest Dad. This song is the result of Charlie reaching out to her estranged father when she's left with no other option because she needs him to reconnect with heaven. So he shows up to the hotel and he is not impressed, especially with Alistair, who is, this kind of father figure to Charlie, which he is instantly jealous over. This is a competition song between the two of them as they're fighting over the affections of Charlie. Now, I obviously love this song because Lucifer is my favorite character, but I think the thing that really stands out in this song is that it's very reminiscent of Genie from Aladdin, because you have Lucifer just being his zany little goofy self, and he's switching all these different characters and these costumes and these accents. And let's face it, anytime I can be reminded of Robin Williams is a good time. And the last song on my list, and my absolute favorite from the entire show, is More Than Anything. Even though Lucifer has been absent for the majority of Charlie's life, all he wants is the best for his daughter. He wants to support her and help her, but he also doesn't want to see her get hurt the way he was hurt.
Dad, I don't need you to protect me from this.
I just don't want you to be crushed by them like I was.
And Jeremy Jordan's performance of this song is just so heartfelt. It's so beautiful. It makes me tear up every single time I listen to it. This is just such a beautiful representation of a father-daughter relationship, and I absolutely love this song. I absolutely love this show and cannot stop listening to the soundtrack. Another thing that I really love about this show is it has very familiar tones to it. There's something about it that is so familiar to me, even though, even when I saw the show for the first time, I had never even seen the pilot on YouTube. This was very new to me. The only thing is that, I know I've seen Alistair cosplays flood my TikTok before, but otherwise this was completely fresh to me. And I think the thing is, it shares a lot of similarities of a lot of other shows, movies, musicals that I really like. First and foremost, because of its religious theming and the heaven versus hell, angels versus demon kind of storyline, it reminds me a lot of Supernatural and how it kind of flipped the script on a lot of these biblical stories. The relationship of Charlie and Vaggie is very reminiscent of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Although I will say that I don't really care for the relationship of Charlie and Vaggie. I love Charlie. And I think Vaggie could be a very interesting character. There's a lot of really interesting things about her, but it's just without giving spoilers away, when big things happen in the show revolving around her, it just kind of falls flat. And I don't buy their relationship. You know what I'm saying? But they are very reminiscent because Charlie is very Harley coded and Vaggie is very Poison Ivy coded. And I love Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, specifically their relationship in the Harley Quinn animated series. But for some reason, this relationship, even though reminding me of that, just falls flat in comparison. Now, I know a lot of original fans of the pilot on YouTube were very upset with this series because the majority of the voice actors were recast. Now, I, didn't watch the pilot before, so it's I have no, thing with that. And I love this cast. The voice actors behind this and bringing in those Broadway stars, really makes it feel like a legit theatrical production, and I'm living for that. Now again, this show is much more than it appears to be. But at the end of the day, if you like raunchy musical comedy animations, you're going to love this show. And if you don't watch it,
you're a loser, baby.
But that's fine by me. Have you watched the show? What are your thoughts on it? Let me know down in the comments. Also, leave your favorite musical in the comments. I don't care if it's Broadway, a movie, or Disney? I want to know. If you like this video, give it a big ol' thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so when new videos hit the channel, you'll be notified. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you nerds later!